Mandela National Stadium Namboole, that is being undertaken by Uganda People's Defence Forces Engineering Brigade. I visited Mandela National Stadium Namboole, the iconic stadium. The reason was to ascertain further details for public consumption about the progress at this stadium that is being renovated by the Uganda People's Defence Forces Engineering Brigade at a cost of 97 billion shillings.
Lieutenant Kano Kidemuka is an engineer from the Engineers Brigade. Was appointed to head the 2nd Regiment Engineers based in Makenke Barracks in Mbarara City. But as of now, here in Mandela, I'm the project engineer. The commander the joint services for civil engineering, Afande Brigadier Bekunda Besije, appointed me to oversee the construction works in the Ministry of Education, especially secondary schools and some few primary schools. He further gave me the portfolio of handling other ministerial, departmental and agencies in the Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Center, Kampala City Council Authority, Judiciary, and many others as called upon. So I'm here in that capacity as an engineer to oversee and ensure that these works are completed in time as required. This is a mega project, the biggest of its kind to be handled by locals and especially the Engineers Brigade, and totaling to a tune of 97 billion shillings. So when the news broke out that UPDF has been entrusted to do this work, but at the back of my mind is one, His Excellency had directed that we do these works in Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, and many other ministerial departmental agencies like the Office of the Prime Minister, and as I already mentioned, the other departments. Now, when this news came up that we had to take on Namboole, and following the directive by His Excellency, and already what I had on press, the doubters, saying UPDF has no capacity, we can't do it. One, I had to say that this is the time now to prove our worth. It was the time for us to come and show Ugandans that we can do this, and we can do this without foreign aid or foreign labor expatriates. So immediately the news broke out. We prepared ourselves. The commander, Afande Bekunda Besije, instructed us to come and do the best, and they told us that one, the fight all along, all the complaint is about shoulder work, that is about inflated rates, it is about delays in the delivery of a project. So he just told us, go and deliver this project, ensure it is delivered on time and it is of quality. So there and then I had to think, now people are saying we can't manage. Yes, but are they aware of what His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, has done? One, I take this opportunity to inform Ugandans that our President, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and the Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, early on had planned and put army in a state ready to take on any work in Uganda. We have 15 construction regiments. There are 15 construction regiments. They are co-located with divisions. We have one in Mbarara, we have one in Kachiri, we have one in Moroto, we have one in Gulu, and many others are in these specialized units, SFC where. So like me now, a commander of the 2nd Regiment, which is co-located with the 2nd Infantry Division, I have a total of around 300 engineers, all recruited from universities. Now, these people are ready to do any work. We are trained. We go to the same university with these civilians. And for us, we go extra mile of going for patriotism courses. We are trained as military soldiers. We have what we call the sixth sense. One is to love our country. We love our country very much. And so when we are assigned this duty as they did, my at the back of my mind was to deliver a project which is worth the money given.
Lieutenant Colonel Engineer Seku Kidemuka, a senior officer of Uganda People's Defence Forces Engineering Brigade, is in charge of the project.
When we came here first to report in December, that was December 2021, we came as UPDF. And in UPDF structure, there are ladies and the men. But for us in the army, we call them men. So we call them men. So we came with approximately 55 soldiers who are men, and then the ladies were 25. Altogether, we made 80 at the beginning. Now, when we reached on ground, and with the briefing we have, that we had to involve the wananchi around in the excavation of foundation, in some who are experts. You know, when engineering, nobody is wholesome. There are areas where we need expertise. So we had to hire the manpower around, and then the people with expertise to do some works. So as work progressed, it required, because the perimeter wall is 4.2 kilometers, and doing that needed labor intensive, so we had to employ very many people to do that work. Now, when we employed very many people, it means we had to bring in more UPDF and more civilians, so that we work together and they know that UPDF is an army for the people. Now, as work progressed and we started on the renovation of the stadium, the numbers went on increasing. At the climax, I had a total population of around 820 workers on site, and they are all fed down. We cook food jointly in our gudurias, and we enjoy jointly with the civilians. Of those people, if I can break down, we had around 600 were men, and then around 280. These 620 were men, and 290 were female, and they were recruited from within, and others were soldiers. Now, towards the end, now as I talk, we are winding up. The numbers gone down. Majority are female. They do a lot of painting here. You can move around and see and witness. Majority are cleaning. Majority are doing landscaping. All the weeding of this being done by ladies. I have over 120 ladies on the ground, soldiers and then civilians. Within my reach, and let me try to answer that. UPDF, first of all, is a patriotic army, and we come here with a sense of liberating and developing our country through construction. So what makes us unique in this sense is, first of all, our costs. Our costs are manageable. They are within, and then timely delivery of our projects. Timely delivery of the projects, we have done that. That makes us ready, and we rarely go back for variations, because these bills are made by us. Our senior quantity surveyors we have in UPDF go through them. By the time they declare that they are ready and for funding, then we would have taken care of all those as eventualities, unless if it is a natural calamity. So what makes us, in brief, unique is that we rarely go for violations, we deliver projects timely, and the quality is at the topmost.
Mandela National Stadium Namboole is being undertaken by experienced Uganda People's Defense Forces engineers. I visited Mandela National Stadium Namboole, the iconic stadium, to ascertain further details for public consumption about the progress at this stadium that is being renovated by the Uganda People's Defense Forces Engineering Brigade at a cost of 97 billion shillings.
Progress, as you look at the work here, currently is at 92%. It would have been even more than that, because most of all the required materials, except the floodlights, are on the ground. Once you have imported the materials on the ground, then it is likely to even push the first percentage high, but we have not considered that. I count percentage on already fixed materials and already fixed works. Briefly, the scope, as you saw from the right beginning, then it had, first of all, fencing of this ground. That is to avoid encroachers. So we did the gazetting of the Namboole land and recovering it from encroachers. So as I talk, 120 acres has been recovered. The remaining 8, because the total land is 128 acres, the remaining 8 is where the roads are passing, and the one which is sharing with the road, and where we have a lagoon, which will also be gazetted with time. And the cost for putting up the perimeter wall was 3.8 billion, which was fully spent and it is 100% covered. So that one is done well. Then the second project we embarked on, or the phase 2, was remodeling Mandela National Stadium so that it fits the requirements of the international standard as guided by FIFA standards and the manuals they gave us. So this involved the roof, working on the roof. We changed the roof from the old roof to a new roof. And it involved doing a lot of civil works. This involved demolition works, working on the seats, working on the mechanical and the electrical works. Total overhaul was done on the mechanical and the electrical works, and they are all done, but except some few fittings. Water system has been tested, it's functioning well. Electricity has been tested, it's working well. And with the electrical part of it, all the fittings remaining, as I told you, are the floodlights, which are on the way, as per the bill of lading. Another thing we did here basically to assure Uganda is to make sure our pitch, both the training and the real practice of where they play from, are on international standards. We did a total overhaul, removing the old materials, casting them away, then putting new materials. And we had to put a special type of grass, and we used these expatriates who guided us because we never had proper knowledge. But now, as I talk, we have gained a lot of knowledge. It was a big project and a big learning. We have learned a lot as indigenous people of Uganda. We can wholeheartedly and willingly take on a project alone without any guidance of this pitch growing. So we have planted the grass. We imported 2 types of grass. One grows horizontally, another one vertical. So they have now matured for the training wing, and then for the real practicing pitch, all the grass is ready.
Work started in February 2022 with the task of securing land from encroachers and faced a delay, seeking a consultant, ultimately zeroing the local one to promote Uganda People's Defense Forces Engineering Brigade.
Engineers are problem solvers. So when we came and we were tasked to make sure we have all seats, we had first of all to remove the few all the seats which were there. And by CAF standards, every seat must have a back support. So that's why you see them in that size. All these bays, they're around 17. We have fixed seats. The choice of the color, gray, black, is because of the exposure to light. You know, our pitch is not covered. These are the national flag seats. The yellow is really not resistant to the rays. It fades very fast. We would have liked to fix the whole stadium with yellow and the black, but the yellow fades very fast and red. So we opted for gray. That one is very resistant and it's good. It was not an easy job, but we did it because really we have a solution to everything as engineers. So we did the fixing and it took us a short time. For your information, all the seats are here, but only that the minister recent, when the other VVIP seats came, they advised that we get those which are laser type. For us, we had brought these ones which are of fiber because of the stadium is open, but they say for AFCOM, where ministers promised that is most likely if they approve the budget, we are closing, so we must bring laser type, and that will be the AFCOM project. But as of now, all the seats are there and we are going to fix them. Ugandans, as you see, this stadium is all-seater, 41 seats available. So it is my advice and plea to our fans that now, since it is digital, it is online, you book your tickets early, so that we no longer squeeze ourselves when we come here. And this stadium, you see, has come at a cost, implying we have a road to protect. And when the fans are here, let them try to protect the gadgets. Let them respect the order. If your ticket reads pass east, use the eastern gate. Because if you use the western gate, you will not enter. The chief here will not allow you to pass. So really, I believe everybody will enjoy and they will like the product, really. I'm sure to leave the taste of every Ugandan. And the pitch itself, you can see, is really so good. We expect our players to excel here, and we shall have to win games here because itself is so motivational.
The stadium has been improved to suit the international standards that is required by CAF and FIFA. Despite the magnificent work, compared to what this stadium looked like a few years ago, there have been numerous challenges. The project engineer, Lieutenant Colonel Engineer Sekuchi Demoka, also clarified on the situation of the floodlights and the field track that are a must for the stadium to reopen.
Arrived. So the only remaining thing we are doing so that we put the tartan is the civil works, which civil works are in the D section, putting up the tarmac, and which is almost being completed. I think by next week we shall start putting the tartan. This tartan is first class. It was approved and tested, and when we are doing all this, we do it in conjunction with all the bodies concerned with the games. Let it be volleyball, let it be these athletics, let it be any game you think of has been incorporated in this page. It is not only football now, it is all around. That's why it has taken a bit of time. Because as you were working, all of a sudden you realize other demands coming in. And we did all this within the estimated cost of 90. The district model is 94 billion. So 94 plus 3.5, it means all the works you have done in Namboole goes to 97 billion shillings. And of the 97 billion shillings we have spent, the rest we are remaining with around 17.7, which I know has been already released by the government to ensure that the works move on. That's why here I thank Mama, the Minister for Education and Sports, and the First Lady for working tirelessly to ensure that within the limited funds he has prioritized Namboole, and he has worked hard to ensure the funds come and the works gone. So we are going to embark on the work seriously and straight away to ensure that we deliver this project which is required by Ugandans. The progress, as I told you, is in high gear. There were some few drawbacks. As you know, finance is not like you talk today, tomorrow it is good. It is a process.
A move around the stadium showed improvements, like the turnstiles that are now in place. According to the engineer, will allow more than 200 fans per minute. Whereas many doubted Uganda People's Defense Forces Engineering Brigade, advantages of using UPDF go beyond the beauty seen when one visits this iconic stadium.
We work on the display system, the LED emitting display system. It is also on the way, a new one. The old one, which has been here, is to be put outside for advert. We have split it into two. It has 6,000 kilograms. The 3,000 has been put on one side, and then the 3,000 on the other, so that it will be used for advert. And that one will be also almost like self-sustaining project for the Namboole. They will raise some money through adverts. Companies will be approaching them where necessary. It is them to program and work out this, the management of Namboole. So I believe the right progress. As I talk now, we are moving on well, and we are at 92%.
With the stadium annual seater fitted with modern technology, especially regarding ticketing, UPDF engineers advise the public on access and maintenance.
Yeah, somebody who was here those years, because for information, Namboole was opened in 1997. It had no seats, but now we have seats. People could access Namboole through limited gates, but now we have big access. I want to assure Uganda that when somebody who was here long time ago comes now, we will see a new Namboole. This new Namboole has the following. We have seats to a tune of around 41,000, and so people will no longer be standing, and these seats have the back, so somebody will really sit comfortably up to the end of the match. Somebody is expected now just to log in, and then he accesses Namboole, which seat is available, which gate you will use, so that there will be no longer saying you go to Shell and buy a card. Once the system we have installed, the smart stadium system, will log out automatically when the seats are over. So we shall no longer be having this crowding business that they have sold more tickets than the available seats. The system is put in place to control overcrowding, also to help people to account for accountability, to know how much has been collected. So we have developed a system, a customized system, smart stadium for Namboole. So that is a new thing everybody has to learn. But we didn't only leave it to go to the elites. We had to cater for people who are still analog, who have these small phones. The third party has been brought in play. This third party will be the one sold to say 200 tickets, and people who cannot access it online, they go there and buy. Once they are also exhausted, the system will log it out.
Whereas the public appreciate the stadium state, there were questions about the shower rooms that require partitioning, an area Updf has promised to address after consultations.
The tribunal, as earlier on arranged, because we renovated this structure as it was, but according to the advice, the tribunal and press must be near the mixed zone, but you find that they are far apart. So I could also make sure they are all put on the same side, mixed zone and the tribunal, so that there are no discrepancies. Then also, according to the comments we have been receiving from visiting teams, the CAF members, is the issue of the washrooms. For us, it is general. People, as guided that players must walk, bathe in an open place. We would protect them. And furthermore, there are a lot of things we would do here if given an opportunity, is to put a canopy, so that our players and the viewers are protected from the vagaries of weather, that is the hot sun, sometimes rain. Then also, if not the canopy only, I would also think, if I'm given an opportunity here to further do this, is I would budget or buy a pitch cover. This pitch cover would enable all other activities to take place, like crusades, because we would first cover the grass, then we allow other activities to take place on the pitch cover. But those are the changes I feel are very crucial. So now, the area arrangement or the design, as it is now, the tribunal is this side, the mixed zone the other side. So we need to do some breaking here and there to ensure that they're on the same side. But as of now, and what we have agreed is that we need to buy a lift, and we need to change now to interchange. The rooms which are for press this way should go the other side. So we will do interchange and make sure that the tribunal and the press, they are on the same side. What I know we shall achieve, because I know the tribunal will be in place and we shall put in the right place. The Minister for Defense and Veteran Affairs, and then the State Minister of Education and the Sports, then the State Minister of Works and Transport sat down and resolved. They said, let us procure our own consultant from Ministry of Works for those who handle public utilities now and the structures. So they appointed the Minister of Works to work as a consultant, and then they straight away kicked on with the consultants providing us drawings. So the delay took around 4 months. So when you add the 4 months to the other, those are already 10 months we are here. Now, when we started the work, from there up to now, we have never stopped. So approximately we have taken so far 17 months here, 17. Now, on record, I want this noted to fellow Ugandans that world over, even if you moved around, you find that the full renovation of a stadium takes minimum of 3 years. But for us on record, we are going to take less than 2.5 years to deliver this structure. So what makes us unique in this sense is, first of all, our costs. Our costs are manageable. They are within, and then time delivery of our projects.
It should be noted that the Uganda People's Defense Forces Engineering Brigade has deeply involved in infrastructure development in health and education sector.
I take this opportunity to thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF for entrusting UPDF, especially the UPDF Engineers Brigade and all the commanders, Fund CDF, the Fund Jackals, really for entrusting Engineers Brigade with a lot of work and to ensure that we also participate in the construction industry and develop and transform our country economically. So, fellow Ugandans, wherever they are, I request them to put trust in UPDF that we shall always deliver and we shall make sure quality is out of notch and we shall work together with the population to ensure we develop Uganda. Uganda is our country. There is nowhere else we shall go. So please let us have that heart of developing our country for God and my country.